Hello everyone, in this video we're going to draw a raven. Start by drawing a circle as a guide for the front part of the body. To draw the circle, first make two small marks to indicate the circle's length, and then on the sides make two more small marks to indicate the circle's width. Then connect the marks using curved lines to finish the shape of the circle. Sketch lightly at first so that it's easy to erase if you make a mistake. Also, pause the video to draw at your own pace. On the bottom right side, make a small mark for the first part of the back portion of the body. Connect the small mark to the circle using curved lines to finish the guide for the back portion of the body. This guide should be similar to an arc on its side. Pay attention to the size of this arc in relation to the circle. To the left, draw another circle as a guide for the head. Draw this circle smaller than the first circle. The circle doesn't have to be perfect, but if you're having trouble drawing it, just trace the outer edge of a coin, a bottle cap, or anything else with a circular edge. Draw this circle close to the first circle. Inside the head, draw a horizontal line as a guide to help you place the facial features. On the top left side of the head, draw a long thin shape as a guide for the top part of the beak. The main part of the beak is made up of two sloping lines. Close off the shape of the beak on the left side using a shorter line. At the bottom, draw another rectangular shape for the lower section of the beak. Make this shape less sloped than the top shape. The tips of the beak should be pointy. Under the body, draw a long angled line as a guide for the leg. Bend the leg near the middle to indicate a joint. At the bottom, draw a horizontal line as a guide for the foot. Connect the head to the body using sloping lines to create the guide for the neck. On the right side of the body, draw two long sloping lines as a guide for the tail. Pay attention to the length of the tail in relation to the body. And that's it for the guidelines. Now let's start on the final drawing. Inside the head, lightly sketch a small circle for the eye. Place the eye on the top left side of the head near the top part of the beak. When you get the size and position of the eye right, darken the shape. Draw a sloping line on top of the eye for the brow. Add a few short strokes on the top right side for the feathery texture on the brow. Leave the inside of the eye blank for a spookier look. Use the thin shape on the top left side as a guide to draw the top part of the beak. Darken the basic path of the guide to create the top section of the beak. Make the lines more angular as you darken the shape. Extend the bottom line farther inside the head. On the right side, draw a series of short strokes for the feathery base of the beak. Don't make the strokes too long. Use the shape at the bottom as a guide to draw the lower section of the beak. Make the lines more angled as you darken the guide. On the right side, draw a series of short strokes for the feathery base of the beak. Use the initial circle as a guide to draw the rest of the head. Follow the basic path of the circle as you draw the shape of the head. Make the top right side of the head more angled than the initial guides. As you darken the guides, use a series of short strokes to create a feathery texture. Make the shapes longer at the bottom for the longer feathers. Add a few more short strokes inside the head to emphasize the feathery texture. Sketch lightly at first and only darken the lines when you get the shape right. Above the body, lightly sketch a long sloping line for the first part of the wing. Follow the slope of the body as you draw this line. When you get the shape right, darken the line. This line should be almost as long as the entire body. On the left side, curve the line down and into the body. Bend the bottom of the line to the left. At the bottom, lightly sketch a long curved line for the lower edge of the wing. This line should almost be as long as the body too. It's okay to overlap the body and tail as you draw this line. When you get the shape right, darken the line. Draw a few long thin shapes on the right side of the wing for feathers. Make the tips of the feathers pointy. Inside the wing, draw a series of short curved lines for more feathers. Sketch lightly at first and only darken the lines when you get the shapes right. On the top left side of the body, draw a curved line for the visible section of the other wing. On the bottom right side, draw a curved line for the tip of the other wing. Use the angled line under the body as a guide to draw the leg. Lightly sketch a triangular shape around the top part of the line for the base of the leg. Use a series of short strokes as you darken the shape for a feathery texture. Use the lines at the bottom as guides to draw the rest of the leg and foot. At the bottom, draw long thin shapes along the path of the guide for the toes. Make the tips of the toes pointy for the claws. Use curved lines as you darken the shape of the toes. To the left, draw the other leg the same way. Use the first leg and foot as a template to draw this leg. Most of this leg will be hidden behind the first leg, so only draw the visible sections. Don't overlap the first shape as you draw this leg and foot. Use the remaining shapes and lines as guides to draw the rest of the body. Simply darken the outer edges of the guides to create the shape of the body. Use a few short strokes on the bottom right side to create a feathery texture. Draw the shape of the tail along the path of the guide on the right side. Draw a series of long thin shapes on the right side for individual feathers. Now erase the initial guidelines. The next few steps are sped up so that the video isn't too long. Don't worry about erasing all of the guidelines, it's okay if you leave some behind. Redraw any of the final lines that you may have accidentally erased. Now shade your drawing. Use a dark value to shade the entire body. Shade lightly at first and gradually build up to a darker value. For a light value, push down very lightly on your pencil, then push down harder for darker values. Use a light value across the entire body to create highlights. Highlights will give the figure more dimension and volume. As you shade, use strokes that go in the direction of the feathers. Use the lighter value to shade the beak and feet. Darken the final lines to emphasize the shapes. Draw a cast shadow at the bottom using a medium value. Shading can be time-consuming, so be patient and take breaks. Keep shading until you're happy with the result, and that's it for the raven. Don't forget to pause the video to draw at your own pace. Also, please visit howtodrawanimals.com, where every step of this tutorial is broken down into an individual image. That's how, and then the number 2, then drawanimals.com. If you'd like to support my channel, please consider buying my books on Amazon. I'll leave a link in the description below. And if you enjoyed the video, please leave a like, a comment, and subscribe for more videos in the future. Thank you for watching, and until next time, keep drawing.